at the Planetary Society, world's largest non-governmental space interest organization advancing space science and exploration so that citizens
Illuminati.
of Earth will know the cosmos and our place within it.
Illuminati, fucking Illuminati shit.
No,
that's where you guys
it
are
was
pulling the
started-
fucking strings, Bill Nye.
It was started by Carl
making
Sagan.
oh yeah, another one, making the hurricanes.
So,
Love it or leave it.
Who here is a millennial? Yeah, it checks out. All right. You know him, you love him. And you will need to chant Bill, Bill, Bill whenever I point to you this evening. Open your hearts, and if you haven't, a Roth IRA. What? And give it up for the science guy himself. It's Bill Nye. All right.
see you. Good to
Good
see
to
you.
see you. Thanks for being here.
We love that song.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, no, it is I who must thank you.
So we were talking about this backstage, and the three-body problem has just not been solved.
Yeah, it has. I mean,
No.
okay. By okay, I mean, okay. You talking about spacecraft navigating in the cosmos? Yeah, I say we, your tax dollars at work. What happened? What did we do on Sunday? We launched a mission to Europa, the moon of Jupiter, with twice as much ocean water as the Earth. You have ocean water for 4.5 billion years. Is there somebody living up there on Europa? Europanians swimming around?
You think?
Could be. Microbes of Europa? It's a thing. If we discover life on another world, it will change this world. Back to you.
Sort of dodged my question about the three-body problem.
What do you want to know about three-body problem? Earth, moon, spacecraft. Yes, there is not an explicit answer, but you can iterate and do it well enough.
What? All right. Well, I guess. Sure.
What, am I speaking tonal languages here or something? I mean, the Hamiltonian, it's like the Lagrangian in time, you know. Hamiltonian, yeah.
What is the difference between Lagrangian and Hamiltonian?
The Lagrangian is where you take total energy. The Hamiltonian is where you take energy and time. It involves partial derivatives. Do you want to go into this? Because it would take me a while.
Probably
I'd
not.
have to reach back.
Probably not. Hey, I always thought Lagrange points were cool and that we should be putting stuff there.
We do put stuff
good.
there.
That's good.
So we have, you guys, talk about something we take for granted. Halo orbits.
Uh-huh.
The old analogy is the marble on top of the upside down mixing bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Very hard. The marble is going to fall. It's unstable. So you guys, Lagrange is where the motions are all in balance. The forces are all in balance. So between the sun, the earth, and the moon, out there is a place where all the forces are in balance. In between, there's a place we're in balance. Between earth and the sun, there's a place we're in balance. And because the whole thing is going around the sun, this is my around the sun impression. There's also, Lagrange points out this way, either side of the orbit, but it's very hard to be there because it's unstable. You'll fall off the upside down mixing bowl. So people put spacecraft in these halo orbits. That's what the description. It's freaking rocket science, man. It is so difficult, and yet humankind does it all the time. Meanwhile, we can't solve these problems on our own planet. They're much harder.
Yeah,
Back
that's
to you.
frustrating. That's
Yeah, it is.
frustrating. It's the incredible human curiosity and ingenuity coming head to head with our deepest flaws and egos and greed, you know? And it's hard to see which one's going to ultimately win, you know? You can't That's those are the three. That's the three-body problem, you know?
Yeah.
In a sense.
Well, it's a hard to solve problem. I'll give you that. Oh, love that song. I love that song.
So now,
No, really, it's great.
one of the challenges we have is that there's a lot of people spreading a bunch of conspiracy theories.
It is a problem.
And you have been out there trying to kind of talk about the truth, get the truth out there. Does it ever feel a little bit like shouting at a hurricane Democrats invented?
With the space lasers?
Yeah, because does it ever feel as though, like, we're not going to win this fight? To combat all these lies feels insurmountable.
No. You have to be, look, everybody, you have to be optimistic. If you're not optimistic, you're not going to get anything done. All right. You don't go into the game thinking you're going to lose. However, when you are behind, you have to hustle. And so I will just go on and on about this. This is the most important election in history. So I'm so old.
How old are you?
Yeah, so I remember, well said. So I used to say that the election of 2000 was the most important election of my lifetime. Al Gore wins the popular vote, but he didn't become president. And so we didn't do anything about climate change. And we've been kicking that can down the road into the future. And the stakes each election, 2004, 8, 12, 6, the stakes get higher and higher. And now they're the highest they've ever been for all of us. So please, everybody, vote. And if you're thinking about voting for the other side, vote on Wednesday. Be sure to vote on Wednesday.
Bill Nye, you scamp.
But you guys just respect that everybody has somebody in his or her family that is supportive of the other side. That there is another talk show where everybody's just as ticked off and just as cynical and just as mean-spirited as the next person. And so they think that we're crazy. But we've got to work together and change the world. And so with that, let us start with this election. We'll just start with that. And then we'll take a meeting on all these other problems along about November 6th.
I feel like part of the challenge with getting people to vote on climate change is not just the people that deny it, but also the people that believe in it, but feel a bit overwhelmed and feel anxiety and feel like it's unsolvable or we've already passed the point of no return. But you don't believe that.
No. So everybody, the latest scientific publications suggest that there's not a tipping point. There's no place of no return. It's just going to get hotter and hotter and spookier indefinitely. So the sooner we stop pumping greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, the sooner we can turn this thing around. So let's get going, you all. Come on. And so people say to me, Bill Nye, science guy, what can I do about climate change? What can I do about climate change? And yes, recycling, whatever, is good. But two things is talk about it. If we were talking about climate change the way we talk about these other problems, we'd be doing something. And then the other thing is vote, everybody. Please vote. See what I did there? Two things. Vote. See what I did?
Really good.
That was
really good.
That was really something. So we can do this. Come on.
So, and two other questions around optimism I want to ask you. One is, do you see real changes? Like, we have implemented a bunch of policies. We've done the Inflation Reduction Act. There have been a bunch of steps taken around the world. Do you believe and do you take solace in or hope in the shifting curve of the expected warming that we've already managed to curtail?
You mean slowing the rate of warming?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess a little bit. But the big thing that makes me optimistic is the young people. You guys, if young people vote in the same percentage, the same fraction as people my age vote, the election would swing progressively right away. I mean, it'd be done. So if you're out there, get your friends, and you're a young person, get your friends to vote. You're of any age, get your friends to vote. If you're too young to vote, make sure the grown-ups in your world vote. And we can turn this around. We can do this. It's the United States, you guys. It's not anybody else. The United States, no, the United States is unique. Our culture is all over the world, whether you like it or not. All these movie jokes, we were Sophie's Choice, or what was it, Jerry Maguire, Top Gun, all this stuff. That culture is everywhere. And so the United States has to lead. is my argument in climate change. So let's get going. And that starts on November 5th, you all. That's where it starts.
Are there some technologies that you're particularly excited about?
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm excited. I'm not joking, you all. So I'm, like so many people, I'm into physics. And so, woo, you know what we say?
What do we say?
Everything happens for a reason. And that reason is usually physics.
It's always physics.
Study of motion and energy. So,
I think it's always
when
physics.
I was in school, nuclear fusion, this would be the smashing of protons together, overcoming the strong atomic force, releasing all this energy, heat, energy, photons like this, was always 40 years away. Every year was 40 more years. Well, I've traveled the world a little bit. I think it's more like 20 years or 15 years.
Cold fusion?
Not cold fusion. No, seriously, you guys, for fundamental understanding, those were people who I think thought that their deity was influencing their role on Earth, and they just had instruments in the wrong place, and but it was such hype, right?
Yeah, cold fusion.
The cold fusion.
It was in the
you're
movie The
still talking
Saint,
about.
starring
30
Val
years ago.
Kilmer.
Say it again.
Val Kilmer was in a movie called The
Yes.
Saint.
Yes.
Elizabeth Shue was a
If
scientist
that's
with
not
kind of
enough
asthma.
proof for you, yeah.
She had asthma. It
Yeah,
wasn't asthma, it
it
was something
happens.
else, heart thing.
So anyway, what you need is really, really hot fusion.
Oh no.
So and so the
Sounds dangerous.
So do you know the definition of temperature roughly?
Yeah, but they don't.
Yeah. So it's the
How
energy.
fast things are moving.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
It's the energy.
I'm
It's the
smarter than I look, sound, and talk.
Yes, which is amazing. To take it up another level, I think we're all just, wow. So, I mean, how can I'm on the spot? Now, we got to get these, so measure of a thermometer goes up because the atoms, molecules hit it, and the faster they're going when they hit it, the more the temperature goes up. So we have to get these particles going really fast and smash them into each other, and we have to contain it in a magnetic field. This is everybody's idea. It's 5 or 6, a dozen places around the world are trying this in different forms, but it may very well be. What's everybody's greatest fear now? Yes, AI.
Oh. I was going to say you wake up naked in a classroom and you haven't even taken the class. And it's the final.
Well, what's the class about, though?
Does it? It's maybe statistics.
Oh, that would be troubling.
So hard because even if it's
So-
open book, you're not going to get it.
So counterintuitive. Yeah, you're right. That's taken that dream up another level of probability. So it is reasonable that containing these moving particles will take a magnetic field that not only responds to the wiggling of the jello of this plasma where all the electrons are dissociated from the atoms, but anticipating where they would be moving. And so artificial intelligence systems controlling the magnetic field may solve the problem. And peoples, if we got fusion here on Earth, we could, in the next, say, 50 years or 70 years, have electricity for everybody all the time. Do all the chat GBT and you want, man. Go crazy. If we can solve that problem.
Oh, it's getting worse.
It's very reasonable. I'm very excited about it. But we have a problem. You know NIMBY.
Yeah.
Not in my backyard. Are you
Yeah.
hip to banana? Build banana. Build absolutely nothing anywhere near anything. And so when you have a society that has that attitude, it's just hard to solve problems. So stay tuned.
So another question I had: how do you feel about geoengineering?
You guys,
I'm curious.
I'm an engineer. You know, we start out thinking we can solve any problem with science. But when you start messing with stuff in the atmosphere and you start reflecting sunlight into space, what happens when you stop? Very troubling. And it's
Termination shock. Isn't that what it's called? Termination shock.
That's could be.
Thought I had it.
It could really suck if you know that term. And it's just, I think I'm afeared that it's wishful thinking. So what happened was volcanoes go off once in a while, and these particles go in the sky and they cool things off. But if you're a volcano and you want to affect Earth's climate, you really have to be near the equator. That's really, if you're just like Mount St. Helens or something, you have a little bit of effect, but you're too far north. And
Stupid Mount St. Helens.
Yeah. Well, she did what she could, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, this idea that you could take that same phenomenon and control Earth's climate in a way that governments around the world would agree upon is challenging.
I read about it in a book. You want to know what the book was called?
Yes.
It's called Termination Shock.
Oh, good. Okay.
And people were so mad about messing with the climate in it.
Yes, understandable. But we're messing with the climate and people are only somewhat angry about it. So you guys, if you're, my heart goes out to people in Florida and in North Carolina and so on. But man, you can't get insurance. Your house is washed away, you've lost everything, and you don't have flood insurance. And where are you going to go? What are you going to do, man? We gotta work together on this. Did I mention voting?
You did mention
Yeah,
it.
good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
my parents are in
What
Florida.
did I say
and I don't know
about
how
it?
far they can get in that Cybertruck.
So you guys, does anybody have a Cybertruck? Anyway, I just wonder, people, you cross paths with people, I describe them, people who work for a living and use trucks, like people who paint houses, mow lawns, repair things, build stuff. They drive trucks. How many of those people drive Cybertrucks? I'm open-minded, man.
Based on the number of them in Beverly Hills, I would say the ratio is not where Elon would want it to be.
Yeah. So look, you guys, I gave, back in the day, at the Planetary Society, the world's largest non-governmental space interest organization advancing space science and exploration so that citizens
Illuminati.
of Earth will know the cosmos and our place within it.
Illuminati, fucking Illuminati shit.
No,
that's where you guys
it
are
was
pulling the
started-
fucking strings, Bill Nye.
It was started by Carl Sagan.
Another one, making the hurricanes.
So it was started by Carl Sagan.
Billions
I took
and
one
billions
class,
of lies.
Took one class from Carl Sagan. Elon Musk was at one of our meetings. He was on the board of directors. This is 17 years ago when he was building the Falcon 1, trying to get this rocket to fly because he's into it. He wants to go to Mars, this and that. And at that time, he was introduced as, this is Elon Musk, founder of PayPal. Hi, I'm Elon Musk, founder of PayPal. Elon Musk, founder of PayPal. It wasn't even hyphenated. It was all one word. Elon Musk, founder of PayPal. And that he was like this regular guy with whom you could talk. And I was trying to be cool. I said, well, what's the specific impulse of this Falcon? And he said 300 seconds. And that was like, whoa, dude, he's into physics. And so I gave him a ride to the airport. I'm not joking, yous, peoples. And I admit, I let him off at a part of LAX that I didn't even know was there. He had, custom flight. What do you call it? Private jet.
That's cool.
Anyway, well, I just wonder, everybody, what's going on with that guy? And is he going off on this tangent because he wants deregulation for his rockets in Texas and for whatever's going on with the Securities and Exchange Commission that he's got going and what he's got going on with the Federal Communications Commission? I just wonder if his head's really in the game right now or if he's trying to make sure he gets his legal stuff taken care of. And so he's just, man, he has gone, as we say in compasses, 180. Man.
Bill.
No, it's like
I know it's
jaw-dropping.
It is jaw-dropping. But speaking of jaw-dropping, we have a segment we're calling Bill Nye, Just Some Guy.
Oh, yeah, good, yes.
And here's how it works. I'm going to give you a non-scientific topic.
Yes.
It might be paranormal, it might be extraterrestrial, it might be the chupacabra. And our request is that you try to give us the most scientific, plausible explanation for that phenomenon. I'm not asking you to debunk the idea. At the same time, you don't need to confirm any of it is real. But if it were real, how could you explain it scientifically?
Sure.
All right. You have to be better at chanting.
Well, they don't have that.
Panicked.
Yeah, and then in a group like this, you got to Bill. You got to have that descending tone. But with that said,
First up, we're gonna start with the UFOs. In April 2020, the Pentagon released 3 unclassified naval videos of unidentified aerial phenomenon. I could barely get it together to bang my pots out a window, and I love doing that. So I don't know that we're ready to reckon with otherworldly visitors. But if you did believe that UFOs were real, how would you justify it scientifically?
If I thought that this video was real, was
yes, if you believe
rather an extraterrestrial visitor,
that people seeing these UFOs, that this is actually that there are aliens and they are visiting Earth.
Well, I would just, of course, send them a binary signal based on the resonance of the hydrogen atom. I mean, how hard could it be? And so, because any alien's going to recognize you, they're going to get this tone, beep, 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 and they'll just know that that's obviously a binary signal that has some geometric origin. And what would it be based on? The most common element in the universe, which is hydrogen. Yes, I love you all. And so in just 5 or 10 minutes, Earth minutes, an alien will be all over it. And so this is, the gold records that are on the Voyager spacecraft. That's sort of the premise of the bit. Any alien will find this record, play it at 16.5 revolutions per Earth minute, get the sounds of whales and people in love and Chuck Berry doing Johnny Be Good, and then we'll all be intragalactic buddies.
Yeah. Well, they could be. Yeah. Do you think wormholes could be a way to get around the speed of light limit?
Well, get around the old speed of light limit.
It sucks. It ruins everything. It sucks. I hate the speed of light.
Yeah. I think I'm okay with it. I grew up with it, and and it's been part of my everyday experience. See?
You got it.
Hey, who doesn't love Wrinkle in Time? Tesseract, we take the ends of the string and put them together. So there you are. You can go anywhere in the universe just by jumping through the wormhole. I'm open-minded but skeptical. Keep in mind that black holes, these stars that have so much gravity, how much gravity do they have? Your behated light can't even escape.
Yeah.
They would kill you on the way in. You would be, the fabulous verb is spaghettified. The gravity at your feet, the gradient between your feet and your head would be so strong, you would be stretched into, a 50-kilometer long string of death.
Disagree.
You say disagree?
I don't think that's what happens.
Well, what do you think happens?
No, it's something else.
Oh, cool. Maybe you end up in another part of the universe at
yeah.
another time.
That's
and
what I was
that would
hoping.
be cool. But can you control it? I don't know. One thing
Why
in
don't
the
you just
movie,
go in real slow?
It's hard to do.
You got to go in just at an angle, real slow.
I got to go at an angle.
Real slow. Got really,
Try it.
Really slow, but go real fast. What if it's a really big black hole? So you're
supermassive.
Yeah, it's really big and you're far away from it. So you go going real slow, like, maybe you got a shot to not be spaghetti, and you're in there being like, "What the fuck?"
Let us know. Yeah, I'll stay out here, and we won't even know what happens to you because the light couldn't get out. Whoa!
Unless I pop out a few
another
minutes
part of the
earlier
universe
here, and then I run in and I'm like, "Oh no!" But then that would have always had happened. Well,
Yeah.
what if there was a wormhole that then sent you back in time? Would you be able to
do it? So there's a guy, a theory where you can build a time machine, but you can only go back to
when the time machine was invented. Because
what a ripoff, man!
Sorry. Well, obviously,
Freaking universe.
It's stupid.
Fuck you, Cosmos. Sorry, man. There are rules for those of us, here on Earth and everything.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends are here.
Yeah. And also some people I hate.
I noticed that. Yeah, I picked up on that. But they hate me.
Who hates you? Who could hate Bill Nye?
Well, if you read the electric internet thing, there's people that hate Bill Nye. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, people. People
on.
think that, my whole...
Bill.
Me and the this climate change hoax and this Green New Deal evil thing. We're trying to raise the standard of living of women and girls, providing clean water, access to the internet, and renewable, reliable power for everybody on Earth is evil. Yes, except for those things. Yeah, people hate me, but that's the way it goes. Remember, there's somebody in your world who wants to vote for the other side. Give them a nudge, because the other side is getting crazier and crazier. And so there's an opportunity in the next couple of weeks to remind people we could make a better choice. Back to you.
Is there any way that you could come up with a scientifically plausible explanation for why horoscopes are real?
Yeah, but it's very reasonable to me that people have sex at different times of year. And so the kids they have are born in different times of year. And so they show up with different personalities because their parents are in a different mood at different times of year.
That was always my only plausible explanation too, that if you're born in the summer and you don't get a birthday cake on your day at school, but only on the summer cake day that you share, it makes you a little weird, which is why summer birthdays, present company included, seek so much attention. And then there are the people born around Christmas, and they are either wallflowers or the craziest motherfuckers you'll ever meet.
Is there a gradient? That is to say, between midsummer and Christmas, Isaac Newton's birthday, where, as reckoned in Britain, is there a gradient between severe disappointment and fucking crazy?
Yeah, I think it's a smooth curve, yeah.
A smooth curve. So you should publish a treatise on this.
I should.
So, there's an old saying in skeptic thought or critical thinking. Everybody loves critical thinking nowadays. It used to be, when I was a kid, that used to be called logic or reasoning or something. But critical thinking is a phrase right now. That's good. It means the habit, or it refers to the habit of mind of evaluating evidence. And so one of the turns of phrase that we love in this skeptic world is correlation is not causation. This is to say, just because you're born in the summertime crazy holiday thing correlates doesn't mean that the horoscope caused it.
But right,
the planets caused it.
Would you say that me being a bit needy caused the summer? Or is
what makes me skeptical of that claim is my understanding is you're quite a bit younger than my parents. And my parents reported experienced summer every year.
Right.
For some reason. I don't know why that would be. I wouldn't be curious about it.
Now, before we go, Bill, you have...
We're just revving up.
The climate. You started Bill Nye the Climate Guy on your Instagram to urge people to vote with the climate in mind. These videos are part of Climate Power's Too Hot Not to Vote campaign. A campaign Vote Save America is also supporting. So we really wanted to premiere the next video.
Thank you.
We have the next video. Let's play it.
Roll that tape.
Bill Nye Climate Guy here. Hello, millennials, Gen Zsters, Gen Ysters, and really kids of all ages. I know you have concerns about your future, the cost of just living, having enough money for food, rent, or for those kids you might want to have one day. But along with all that, the Earth is getting warmer. The climate is changing worldwide. There are more floods, more droughts, more fires, and less ice. Our planet is getting hotter and hotter. We need to take action. We need to be creating new jobs. The Clean Energy Plan is just the start. And if you're on the fence, get off it. Because on one side of the fence is a bright green future for all humankind. The other side will lead us to an oily, dry death. I'm not kidding, people. Vote. Your future is in your hands. Register on those electric phone machines of yours. Go to toohotnottovote.com and learn how to vote early in your state.
I like that.
So we did. Thank you, man. Thank you for showing that. This is a world premiere, you all.
We're at the premiere.
So thank you. We did six videos with Too Hot Not to Vote. It's like toy boat, Too Hot Not to Vote. And we have them come out every week up to the election. There'll be a couple bonus sprinkled in on election day or the day before. So everybody, it's really important. There's a lot of things on everybody's mind. This business of women's rights, control of your bodies, trying to suppress the vote in a lot of districts in the United States. These are important issues. They're racial or ancestral issues that are important, but the climate is really important. And young people are concerned about it, so it's too hot not to vote. Carry on.
Yes. It's like we can choose a clean energy future or a dry, oily death. And it's like dry, oily death. Is that if Trump wins or my combination skin? All right.
Are you a summer? You are a summer.
You bet I am.
You did the colors.
You bet I am.
So that's why you don't wear blue or something like that.
Something like
He's
that.
got pink shoes. He's a summer.
He's a summer.
Proof
All right.
of the paranormal? I'm satisfied. I believe in ghosts now.
Ooh, ghosts. TooHotNotToVote.com. Check your registration status, make a plan to vote, and learn about your candidates' climate records. When we come back, it's time to spin the wheel.
It's love it or leave it.